So after you have went ahead and ran all of these things, aerodump will now monitor only the target network, allowing us to capture more specific information about it. So what we are really doing now is waiting for a device to connect or reconnect to the network, forcing the router to send out the 4-way handshake that we need to capture in order to crack the password. Also, 4 files should show up on your desktop, and this is where the handshake will be saved when captured. And make sure that you don't delete them, else you will have to go and capture them again. But we're not actually going to wait for a device to connect. No, that's not what impatient hackers do, and we are impatient hackers. So we're actually going to go ahead and use another cool tool that belongs to the aircrack suite that is called as AirPlay-ng to speed up the process. And instead of waiting for a device to connect, hackers use this tool to force a device to reconnect by sending a deauthentication packet to the device, making it think that it has to reconnect with the router. Of course, in order for this tool to work, there must be someone else other than you, or I know that you are not connected, but there must be someone else, at least one party that must be connected to the network first. So watch the AirDump-ng and wait for a client to show up. It might take a long time depending upon what time of day it is and who's actually connecting it. And if you're around in a corporate area, then you will obviously get someone or the other. Or it might take only a second before the first one shows. If none show up after a lengthy wait, then the network might be empty row or you're very far away from the network. So if you go ahead and wait, then I'll assume that you have some client in between that has appeared on your network. So we'll continue to the next step. So now you need to go ahead and keep this specific command running, that's AirDump-ng, and you need to open a second terminal and you need to type something like this: AirPlay-ng space -0 space 2 space -a. Don't worry, I'll be explaining this to you what exactly this is. Over here it would be router BSSID, over here -c client BSSID mon0, and over here -0 is a shortcut for the deauthorization mode. 2 is the number of deauthorization packets to send. -a indicates the access point, that is the router's BSSID, and replace the router's BSSID with the BSSID of the target network. So which in my case over here would be something different. That would be this one. That's the MAC ID. And BSID and MAC ID are the same, just to be clear. And -c would be the it indicates the client's BSSID, and that you have noted in the previous picture. Replace the client's BSSID, that means the person who has connected to the network, and this will be listed under the station. So over here I'll just go ahead and create some random ID again. It will be 00:14: let's say FG:CD I don't know how exactly this works or what is the method as to how exactly this works, so I'm just writing any random stuff. E008, perfect. I believe 66. Okay, perfect. And in the end, mon0, that is your obviously your monitor interface. Change it if it's different. It's monitor 1 or 2 or whatever it is. So this will how exactly the command line will look like. Upon hitting enter, you will see AirPlay-ng sending the packets, and within moments you should see this message appear on the AirDump-ng screen. This means that the handshake has been captured, the password is in the hacker's hand, and maybe in some form or the other, but you have the password. You only thing that you need to do is to decrypt the keys. So you can go ahead and close the AirPlay-ng terminal and hit Ctrl+C on the AirDump terminal over here to go ahead and stop the monitor mode. And but don't close it just in case you need some information later on. I have closed it because I have no reason to keep it started because I have not even ran it. So this, as of now, till now, it concludes the external part of our tutorial. From now on, the process entirely between you is inside your computer, and the 4 files that on your desktop, that is, you'll get some 4 files over here in the desktop with period, cap extension. That is important. So I'll just go ahead and delete all of these things because I have no reason to keep it as it is. So open up a new terminal and type in the following command, which is aircrack-ng space -a2 space -b space the router's BSSID. So over here I'll just type some random stuff. E9, perfect. And over here I'll just type -w. This would be the path to the word list. So in our case it would be something like /root, and let's say for example w, and the name of my word list would be, I'll just go and type word list over here, whatever the name of your word list is, /desktop if I have that on the desktop. Okay, let me check. Okay, desktop / and whatever is the extension of your cap file that you find it over here. So what it is going to do is that it's going to crack the Mac ID. Just use the Mac ID to go ahead and crack this this cap extension with our word list. So -a is the method arrowcrack will use to crack the handshake. A2 is the WPA method, that's WPA2. -b stands for the BSS ID, and -w stands for the word list. Replace the path word list with the path to your word list that you have downloaded. I have the word list called as WPA, that's W word list period txt. So I'll just type something like txt if it is in my root directory, and I will just type space. And root /desktop period cap asterisk period cap is the part to the cap file containing the password. And the asterisk means a wildcard in Linux, since I'm assuming that there are no other cap files on your desktop. This should work fine the way it is. So this is how my complete command line would look like. And just in case your word list is in some other directory, what I'll just type, if it's on the same as desktop, I can just type something like this. Perfect. Okay, sorry, I missed out a bit. And / perfect, and I don't need p. Perfect. So this is how it should look like in actual scenario. And as soon as you hit enter, ArrowCrack-ng will now launch into a process of cracking the password. However, it will only crack if the password happens to be in the word list that you have selected. Sometimes it nots. In case the password is something like AZSD12911S47, some random word. In case it's that, it won't be crackable. And if this is the case, then you can congratulate your owner on being impenetrable. Of course, only after you have tried every word list that a hacker might use or make. And cracking the password might take a long time depending on the size of the word list. When I tried previously, mine went very quickly, and the password that I got from when I cracked previously, what a monster at that 159, and the password like MONSTAR, @R, and it was #159. And if you think that this is a tough password, it's not. It was easily cracked in approximately 15 minutes, I believe. So the passphrase to test our network was not secure, and you can see that ArrowCrack found it. So if you find the password without a decent struggle, then change your password. So best way to do this would be go ahead and crack your own Wi-Fi setup. And if you're penetrating someone else, then tell them to change your password as soon as possible, unless you want them to go ahead and actually get into some kind of trouble. So that would be it for this tutorial from my end for today. And that's how we actually go ahead and crack a Wi-Fi password. And so if you are thinking right now that this is quite easy for someone to go ahead and crack that password, trust me, it is not. So next time if somebody cracks your password, make sure that you will need to come to know that password cracking, or actually Wi-Fi cracking instead, is not a process that a noob can do. You need to be a pro. So that is it for this tutorial and the end of wireless cracking. So in the next tutorial I'll be teaching you, maybe teach you about Bluetooth cracking, or I'll go on to the next chapter.